Yeah, hello everybody. This is Howard the Teaserking coming to you with week 2 of college football. I'd like to recap week 1, hit my locks. Boise minus only 4 to Troy, and the under in the LSU Miami game. Let me go through the analysis of the Boise game. I'll go through it for both briefly. In the Boise game, Boise's basically a top 5 team in the country. They're got a good quarterback. They replaced their running back. They got a really strong defense, good coach, and the quarterback's back, and a lot of their guys are back. So they're played together, and they're playing Troy, who they had played last year in Boise, beat them by like 10, and then Troy lost their quarterback, lost some offense, so they're replacing the quarterback. Their defense is strong for Sunbelt, but I'm not worried that Boise, with the experienced quarterback and the good defense, is going to handle them. So the thought process is, I know Boise is going to score. I don't care how good. Troy's got a good Sunbelt defense, but it ain't Alabama or Auburn. So I'm reviewing that, going, well, Boise got to score 30 points. How can Troy keep up? The spread's only 10. I only have to lay 4. All they, in my mind, have to do is win by a touchdown, and I can't see Troy scoring enough or getting enough turnovers to play it close. And there you go. And Boise puts up a 50, and I don't remember the score that Troy puts up, 14. And it's an easy win for Boise. Well, that's what I'm looking for. So what I've done this year is I'm kind of scoring the teams. And by that I mean I'm defining the team. 1 is the strong, 5 is the weak team. Alabama's a 1, Ohio State's a 1. But then you get into the conferences. Boise's a 1 in their conference. And you're looking for comment like Boise plays Troy. It's not like Boise plays Alabama. So then I'm rating the quarterback, the offense, the defense, and the coach. A lot of the coaches I don't know. I just kind of wing it when I see it, but it's not important. The coaches I do know, like the Washington coach, I know he's a good one, which I used in my Washington-Auburn analysis. So basically, if they give up a lot of points, I'm giving them a 5 as a defense, which means they're terrible. So now when I analyze, I'm looking for 1s against 5s. Sort of what I do in baseball when the ace is facing the 5th pitcher, I bet the ace. Well, here, when the 1 team, Boise, now Troy was not a 5, but what I'm looking for is a 5 defense. So that's what I want to play. So that's what created the Boise-Troy game. And I had a few other games in the mix attacking the 5s. For example, I had Houston against Rice. Rice was a 5 defense, which is now maybe a 4, but they beat them. And let's see, who are 5? West Virginia, Tennessee. Strong quarterback going against a weaker defense. Oregon State, Ohio State. Oregon State's a 5 team going against a 1. And it's funny how Ohio State knows the line. I mean, they got 63 points, which is plenty, but it doesn't cover the 40-point line. So they make sure they score 2 more times to cover. So not that Ohio State's perfect at home, but when they can, they cover. Tressel is the same way. If they needed that late touchdown, they're up 30, but they're laying 35. They'll score the next touchdown to cover. They know what's going on. So you got that, and then I ranked the teams over and under. What's an over team? Missouri's an over team. Great quarterback, weak defense. Hawaii's an over team. Great offense, quarterback, weak defense. Navy looks like a great over team. So you've got your strong quarterback, strong offense, weak defense. those are the best over teams. When they play a 5 defense, a San Jose State, a Rice, one of these teams, that's what you're looking for. You're going, because the strong offense is going to score all day on this weak defensive team. And there's nothing the weak defensive team can do. And then if it's a 5 team, they really can't fight back. As I said, Troy, they really had no way. Well, Boise had an outstanding defense, but Troy really couldn't score that much against the Boise. So that's really what I'm looking for in attacking. But this year, with my rating system, I've always known that I want to bet against the weak teams. I've just added this ranking, and I update it each week. So a team might be a 5 and then start winning. Like Hawaii. Hawaii was probably a 4 or a 5 in the beginning. Okay, they beat Colorado State. They scored a lot of points. But now they beat Navy, and they score a lot of points. Now they're like a 3. And now they're an over. And now they're a strong offense. So maybe their offense was a 4 or 5 because the quarterback was new. Now it's a 1 offense. They're going to score through the roof. And unless they play Alabama or a team with a strong defense, Clemson, Auburn, one of these teams, they're going to score a lot. So you keep that in mind. So I'm adjusting as I go. I found a kid at Hawaii scoring points. So that's what I look for. So so real quickly then, the LSU-Miami game are under teams. What's an under team? Great defense. Miami, LSU have great defenses, but not good quarterbacks. The Miami quarterback is not really strong. LSU, this kid, I don't know where they got him. I think they got him from Ohio State. I'm reading in my magazine, LSU. I don't see this kid's name. He must have just got there. They have the quarterback. Other quarterbacks stunk. I said, well, LSU can't score. Miami can't score. That was the lock. Go under 55. And the kid comes in, and he's okay in Miami. And they had to settle down. These teams, they really need some sort of, not an exhibition game, but that's why these teams play a high school team to start with, because they need to get their timing. Like Washington State, the first half was a freshman quarterback, nervous, wasn't making a throw. Second half, he came on, he starts throwing. So now now his feet are now he knows what to do. So you look for better things. So this week, so that's what I'm looking at. So teams are either over, they got a great quarterback and no defense, or they got this great defense and no quarterback. That's an under team. When a team like Boise has this great defense and a quarterback, they are a play team. You play on them. I'm taking Boise. I'm not looking at over-unders. So there's 3 types of teams, right? Great offense, no defense. Great offense, great defense. No offense, great defense. Or they're terrible. They have no offense, and they give up 100 points, and you bet against them. Which brings me to this week's play. Speaking of Hawaii and their quarterback, Hawaii's laying 17 to Rice, which seems like a really small number considering they just beat the hell out of Navy, who not only can score and put up 41, but it has a very good defense. They play UCF and South Florida and Memphis. But not like Navy hasn't seen, they play Ohio State and Notre Dame, and they don't do that to Navy, these teams. So let's look at Hawaii and Rice. Hawaii's now moved up from a 5 to a 3. They score 51 a game and they give up 38. They're the prototypical over. Great offense, numbers, 1 quarterback. The quarterback's played 2 games. He's outstanding. No interceptions. And he's got 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. But their defense is a 5. It's a weak defense. And then they're playing Rice. So let's look at Rice. I've got Rice as a 3. They were a 4. They lost to, some Division II team in week 1. And then they played Houston fairly good the first half. And then Houston turned it on and I got the cover on Houston barely. I was laying 17. I cut it from 23. The line did go up to 26. And so if you got the line at 26, you lost. But I got the line at 23 down to 17. How do I rank Rice? Well, I rank him as kind of a, I don't know, this Sean Stankiewicz looked good in the first half, average in the second, but he looked good against Houston. So I give him a 2 or a 3 as a quarterback, and as an offense, I give their defense a 4 because Houston's put up like 45 on them, and the Division II team beat them, put up in the 30s. So I definitely see they got a new coach. I have no idea, and they got a running back, Emmanuel Asuka. So they've been running the ball. They ran it on Houston a little bit. So I don't think it's their quarterback as much as their runner. But Hawaii just faced Navy, who runs the ball as good as anybody in the country. Maybe Georgia Tech, maybe Army can run with Navy. And Hawaii handled Navy very well. So this should not be a big deal to them. They'll score. But I like the play here is Hawaii minus 11. I like Hawaii. They're at home. Rice played their rivalry game, Houston. Rice is in Houston, and Houston's there. So they got up. They played a good first half. But at the end of the day, they gave up a lot of points in the second half, and they didn't really score when they needed to. So I don't think the quarterback is great. He's probably not a 2. He's probably a 3. And the defense, I don't know. It's either a 4 or a 5. I'm not getting much more out of it because they did lose to a Division II team. So I think they'll be a little flat this week going to Hawaii. Hawaii's on fire. Hawaii will score in the 50s. Hawaii's laying 17, over under of 71-72. I like the over, but the problem I have is, can Rice score enough to get over? I think Hawaii puts up another 50. If they put up 59 on Navy, they're putting up 59 on Rice. No problem. So then you're analyzing it. Well, is Rice going to score 30 and I'll go over? Or is Rice maybe going to get into the 20s and they might not get to the over? Well, I think they'll get to the over, but if I'm struggling with Rice scoring 40 points, I know Hawaii's getting 50. Okay, once they beat Colorado State handily, but when you back that up beating Navy, okay, this is Rice. They're not nearly in the league of Navy, all right? And Navy with that running attack, Navy did put up 40 on them. But Rice had 35-0 or 35-7. Rice or Hawaii was way out. So I'm betting a hot hand to Hawaii. I'll lay the 11. I think that's the way to go. And that's what I'm looking for. So again, I'm playing against a weak defense. I'm playing a hot offense against a weak defense. At home, the spread's cheap, 17. I think the spread should be easily 24-25. Rice is not a very good team. Okay, we give them credit for the Houston rivalry game, but they're still a bad defense, and it's a brand new quarterback who, Joe Montana is not going to Rice. Okay, they have a decent running back, Emmanuel Escupa, but they did lose to a Division II team. So I think when the fire is put on them by Hawaii in that offense, and now it's 2 games in the 50s, and it's against the Navy, I'm taking Hawaii. And that's really what you look at. It's who they play. So when these teams are playing these Division II teams, and they put up a 70, an example, let's look, who is it? I think Nevada. Here's Fresno State. Well, I like Fresno State. Here's Nevada. They won 72-19 against a high school team. Well, I can't put stock. I got Nevada with the 5 defense and a 1 offense. I got them as an over. The perfect over, right? They're going to score a lot, and they don't have a defense. They play a Division II team. They win 72-19. I'm going to throw those numbers out. Once they play a regular team, I'm going to just cash them out, and at least against the Division I team. And they play, I think, Vanderbilt this week, and you get a better feel of them. Then you get a real feel of them. But that's what you're looking for, is you're looking to, excuse me, you're looking to, get a good read on the team. Now, I know the quarterback on Nevada is good, Danji, but you got to throw those type of games out. And that's in New Mexico, 62 points against a high school team. So that's what you're looking at. Now you have the other games where they play, like Michigan plays Notre Dame. Now you got a very good read on Michigan and a very good read on Notre Dame. That's what you're looking for. So until they play that tough team, you don't really have a read on the team. You can't look at the high school game and go, oh, they got a good offense. The only time is like where Rice loses to a Division II team, you go, oh, Rice really does stink. When now it comes into play against the Hawaii. See, the key with these big numbers, you got to have a quarterback that's going to score a lot against a weak defense, and that's exactly what you got with Hawaii here. So again, watch the new quarterbacks, watch the defenses. So the key is how good's the quarterback, how bad's the defense, and you want to bet against the 5 defenses. So, example, Oregon State, East Carolina, Illinois is terrible, New Mexico, San Jose State are terrible defensive teams. So that's what you're looking for. Bowling Green, Ball State, Kent State. That's what you want when you get a good team against them. You know the good team with the good quarterback is going to score a lot, but that's really what you want. You like Bowling Green's a good over team. They got a good quarterback, good offense, and a 5 defense. So they're gonna let up a lot of points, but they can score. And look at the Oregon game, went to 82. That's exactly what you want. They scored 24. They gave up 58. It goes over. That's what you're looking for the over teams. So anyway, so watch the new quarterbacks, but watch them in a game that means something against good competition. How do they play against bad competition? If they look bad against the bad competition, i.e. Rice, San Jose State lost to a Division II or a high school team. When you see that, then you know, okay, they're really bad because they lost to a Division II team. Because all these teams, it's all about the money. The smaller teams are just trying to get to a bowl. The bigger teams, it's all about this playoff, which is really skewing everything. So when these big teams play these little teams, they can't afford to lose for the playoff. So you get a lot more blowouts with the good team playing the weak team than you would before. So again, that's my pick for this week, Hawaii. www.teaserking.com for the picks. Again, 9-1 last week. Very strong start, and I look for a very similar one. I have a big lock going this week. I'll probably have another 10 games going. I'm just trying to build bankroll and get it going, and the more I can see, the more I can get a better confidence in, hey, Hawaii's strong, where the first week I had no clue. Even against Navy, I had no clue. But now that I've seen them and I know this quarterback, as long as the quarterback's in there, I'm all over Hawaii. And I'm just going to keep betting them until they play Boise State. Then you got to be careful. That might be an over game because I still think they can score on Boise. But what happens is it's the defensive line and the blitzes. That's what hurts teams like Hawaii, who are over teams when they play the same level of competition. So when they play in Nevada, when they play Vegas, the score's going to hit 100. But when they play the better defensive teams, what happens is Boise will blitz them more and break it and sack the quarterback more, causing interceptions, and the team won't score. That's why it's hard when they play. You know, if they were to play Alabama, Alabama would blitz the crap out of them. And that's why Hawaii can't play in Alabama. That's the only reason. But if Hawaii, had the line to hold Alabama, they would beat Alabama. That's the style that beats Alabama, that good quarterback. Chad Kelly on Ole Miss, and even Manziel, who's terrible, but he could scramble around and find the open guy. That's how you beat Alabama. That's their weakness. You avoid the rush and go. Auburn, could handle them. Georgia could had Alabama. So it's things like that. So that's what you're looking for. Keep an eye on the new quarterbacks. You get the new coaches, and just you're looking to crush the weakness. Where's the weak defenses, and you hammer them when you got a good offense. Take Hawaii minus the 11. Again, www.teaserking.com. Locks, weekly games you can buy, monthly. And you got to keep in mind, if you go online to these handicappers, they're like $35 for one game. They're not $35 for the whole week. So I'm a little bit more, but not per game. I'm giving you 10 games, 9 winners, 90% documented on the site, and I'm charging you, I think college is $75. So I'm charging you, but you're getting 10 games. So you're paying $7 a game, where the guys are charging you $35. It's not even in a teaser, and they're probably going 50% if they're lucky. So keep in mind, the per game, you're getting a lot of games. That's why, even though the price is a little bit more, it's well worth it. You get the analysis and the trends. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, everybody, have a great week. www.teaserking.com. You can certainly email me with questions. If you want to buy, just go right ahead. Use the email there for PayPal. If you want to PayPal me, then do that, or go on the site and pay there. Either, whatever is more convenient for you. Okay, everybody, have a great weekend. Take care.